Hi, my name is Muhammad Shahrul Amin bin Muhammad Subandi. So I will be presenting about physical resource-based zoning approach for sustainable park management, a case study of Taman Tasik Taiping. So this is our team members. For table of content, we have introduction, case study, objective, impact and project value, finding and conclusion. So for introduction, this study examines the physical resource of Taman Tasik Taiping to support sustainable heritage park management using site observation, photographic recording and physical resource mapping. The issue, concern and opportunities ICO framework was applied to analyze landform, water bodies, vegetation, circulation and facilities. Findings indicate that while the flat terrain, lake system and mature rain trees strongly define the park heritage character, contracted visitor activity place pressure on sensitivity area and reduce use comfort. A zoning strategy is proposed to manage activity intensity, protect heritage tree and improve spatial organization for long-term sustainability. For the case study, Taman Tasik Taiping is one of Malaysia's oldest heritage park, valued for its peaceful scenery, historic feature and strong community use. It offers an enjoyable space for walking, jogging, picnicking and sightseeing. This resource inventory helps understand its land use, circulation, culture, value and use pattern so the park can be managed sustainably and protected for future generations. Surrounding historic building, interconnected lakes and landform heritage tree. In line with UNESCO cultural landscape principle, represent the interaction between people and nature over time. Understanding the site content is essential to ensure that zoning and management strategy protect its historical identity, scenic quality and social significance. For the objective, we have three, which is first, to identify and document the physical, natural and cultural heritage resource of Taman Tasik Taiping through a comprehensive resource inventory to establish a baseline for sustainable park management. Second, to analyze the spatial distribution and sensitivity of physical resource in relation to heritage value, ecological function and user activity as basis appropriate zoning. For the third, to develop a physical resource-based zoning framework that balance heritage conservation and environmental protection and recreational use with Taman Tasik Taiping. Next, we go to project and value. These studies contribute to sustainable park management by demonstrating how physical resource-based zoning can apply to a heritage park setting. By integrating heritage value into zoning decision, the approach ensures that conservation prioritizes guide development and recreational activity. The project supports three categories, which is long-term protection of cultural and natural heritage assets. Second, improve visitor experience without compromising historical integrity. And last but not least, informed decision making for local authorized and park manager. Next, we go to ICO, issue, concern and opportunity. For the issue, physical deterioration of heritage structure due to age and exposure. Second, increasing recreational pressure affecting historical landscape and water edges. For the concern, we have overcome commercialization treating the park historical atmosphere. Second, environmental stress impacting heritage tree and water system. For the opportunities, adaptive reuse of heritage structure for education and interpretation. Second, strengthening heritage interpretation through signage and guide roads. So next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Now let's discuss about physical resources finding. These resources reflect the park historical evolution as must be conserved to maintain its heritage authenticity. First is built heritage element. The inventory identified that several history and man elements that contribute to the cultural significance of the park. These include heritage circulation part, bridge such as the Chinese Bridge, gazebo pavilion, and early recreational structure that reflect the park colonial era planning and evolution. Any structure must comply with a minimum buffer zone setback from the lake edge, usually at least 3 to 5 meters depending on slope stability and environmental sensitivity zones. Now let's discuss about environmental sensitivity. Environmentally sensitive area, particularly low-lying zone, lake edges, wetland and densely vegetated area which are vulnerable to overuse, erosion and pollution, increase visitor pressure, parking concentration and urban runoff from surrounding development, pose risk to water quality, vegetation, health and wildlife habitat and facilities. First, analysis in Area 1 South Lake. Taman Tasik Taiping is currently dominated by signage and Area 2 West Lake. Taman Tasik Taiping in the West Lake area is dominated by three main categories, which is parking, 31.4%, infrastructure utilities, 28.8%, and signage, 22.3%, which collectively account for more than 4/5, 82.6% of the total allocation, with a focus on accessibility basis maintenance and visitor guidance. For Alamanda Pond, Taman Tasik Taiping is currently dominated by parking, which is 32.8%, indicating a primary focus on accessibility and visitor vehicle management. The largest infrastructure component are infrastructure, utilities, which is 20.4%, and safety aspect, 16.1%, reflecting to the importance of basic system. Last but not least, Area 5, which is in Taman Botani. Taman Botani Taiping is now evenly dominated by infrastructure, utilities and parking at 32.9% each, with the total allocation for these two categories accounting for over two-thirds, 65.8% of total. Other major allocation category include signage 12.1% and pedestrian 9.7%, which show significant increase. Physical resources finding on natural habitat resources. We found out that the park contains many mature and heritage trees, especially ren tree, as we call Samanya Saman, over 100 years old, which provide wide canopy, shade, visual identity, and climate comfort, strengthening the park heritage character. Green corridor and dense vegetation area, particularly around Scott Island and Taman Botani, act as ecological buffer and important wildlife habitat. Lastly, to conclude about physical resources finding discussion, the physical resource-based zoning approach provide a practical framework for managing Taman Tasik Taiping as a heritage park. By recognizing the park's historical landscape, natural system, and long-lasting social value, zoning can guide sustainable use while safeguarding its cultural identity. This approach ensures that the park remains a protected heritage landscape for present and future generations.